I'm Sarah, and it's lovely to have you back at Sarah's Shed and our 1 acre homestead. Like a lot of people who get into the homesteading lifestyle, I've been growing a lot of different fruit and veggies over the last few years and trying to become a lot more self-sufficient in terms of what we eat. But also in the last few years, there's been other areas of self-sufficiency that I've become interested in. I have some plans to be more self-sufficient in growing my own flowers and having cut flowers most months of the year, but that's going to be a video that's upcoming or maybe a live stream soon. So in this video, I'm going to take you through a lot of different things that we've done and learned to become a lot more self-sufficient, not only our firewood, but also wood for building, DIY and woodworking projects. Harvesting our own firewood has been a bit of a no-brainer right from the start, as living underneath and around these beautiful river red gum means there's no shortage of fallen little stuff. Branches, twigs come down, and we sure have had a great time drying those out and using them on the inside fire and also for bonfires outside. It's been a lot of fun. But also there's been a whole lot of smaller saplings, again little red gums that have grown down one part of the property. They're way too close together and near the power lines, but I have been cutting them down quite hard, and that's also made a great lot of kindling, and that's been useful as well. So through that experience and that process, I've learned a lot about coppicing trees, which is a process for cutting them low and then using the regrowth for wood, and that's used all around the world. But I didn't realise it works really well with a lot of our gum trees. So down the side here further, that's going to be the site of our own woodlot. This is a new project that we're only just starting to plant more diverse species that are good for timber and firewood. Because we've got so many river red gums, we've decided to plant species that can complement that for the firewood. So we've got 3 black wattles and then a yellow gum and a yellow box, and those are all terrific for firewood. They're doing pretty well. I've just had a walk around, and the wattles doing nicely. They grow really fast here. Behind them, those are the existing river red gums that I've already coppiced, cut them down low. They're growing back. There's another wattle down here. And then over here, this is where we have our yellow box and yellow gum. Different species. One will have like a smooth bark, that's the gum tree, but this box gets a really rough bark. Yeah. So they've only been in for a few weeks and they're, 20 centimetres tall. But within a few years, they'll be as big as this one behind, which I've been cutting down for a couple of years now. You can see that when you cut it hard, instead of having one branch up there, you get two. And then next year I'll cut those down and even more will grow back. And then through a bit of good luck and then some good planning, we had the opportunity to harvest some substantial quantities of firewood and timber from a huge fallen gum tree. And we also had another large branch on a living gum that needed to come down because it was dangerous. So we hired an arborist, incredible experience, and here's a quick recap. incredible day with 3 experts climbing, reducing a tree that was hanging out almost horizontal, trimming it back, all the little stuff first from the top until they got down, and with a series of pulleys and ropes and a big chainsaw were able to remove that. Since been able to mill it for timber. And I was able to get a heap of firewood when I had to trim this big fallen tree of all the little stuff. And after the firewood, there was still a huge amount left to mill as well for more beautiful river red gum slabs. So now when you take a walk around, you can see these firewood chunks drying in these baskets, or some on the ground, and some we still have that needs cutting up into smaller pieces and storage, and we'll get to that over the next few months. So collecting, harvesting and growing your own firewood is certainly a fantastic way for self-sufficiency in firewood and timber, but there are other ways.
And I've got a stack of the old fence palings left too.
You can keep your eye out for timber that your neighbours and others around you are throwing away and make good use of it, like those fence palings I repurposed for some fantastic garden beds.
Made that up on the table, much easier to lie at all the pieces flat and get it square.
And if willow is a weed down in your local creek, you can harvest that freely and weave garden beds out of it too. I used a lot of recycled timber on my shed when I built it. These outside timbers were recycled. They were underneath horsehair plaster inside the old house. Amazing to be able to reuse them. And the shutters I made about a year later, they were left over from the decking timbers. And so imagine what future woodworking projects I can do with these amazing amount of wood. So these are really thick slabs, so tables, bench tops, you could mill them down further. Beautiful grain in them, be a couple of years before we can use them. And these we decided to mill smaller as planks because, you know, how many tables do you need, just to give us an option. So I don't know, maybe there's a very glamorous chook house in our future. We don't have animals at the moment, but I do hope to get back to chooks in the future. Would like to get some travel out of the way first, actually. So yeah, maybe a chook house in the future, or maybe a tiny house. Some possibilities there. So they could clad the outside, floorboards, yeah, a range of different things. But again, a couple of years before that will be dry enough, seasoned enough to be able to use. But yeah, cut some sort of standard size, but then these are bigger. We might be able to get a board and a batten out of them, so can just mill them down a bit further into the future. And of course these rounds, when they dry, are more firewood. It's just
fantastic to think we'll have a ready supply of both firewood and timber for some building DIY projects, I think for many years to come.